With the advent of GTA 6 coming out sometime next year, there are still those burning questions.
Whoa!
Namely, one of those being, is it woke? Is it going to be woke? There are a lot of reasons why people are asking this, not only looking at Ubisoft, the release of Dragon Age, we waited 10 years to find that absolutely horrific disaster. There have been a lot of changes within the gaming industry from well known, well received, and highly bought and sought after franchises. So I think this question is warranted. We actually do have a story to tell you today. And this comes from that Park Place with Francesco Solback. Is GTA 6 woke? DEI employee certifications highlight the quiet shifts threatening Rockstar. And this is not something that is new to the AAA gaming atmosphere. It is definitely not. And this person did a great article. We're not going to even have time to go through all of it, but he did his due diligence. So here is the underlying question: is GTA 6 woke? Because I mean, gamers have a right to know. We've seen what's been happening in droves recently, and we don't want that. Now, GTA 5 is, I think, the highest selling game of all time. It's still being sold today, even though it's been 12 years. It's been out for 12 years, and it is still one of the highest sellers and highest played because it was just that dadgum good. So it's no surprise that GTA 6 is highly anticipated, to say the least. Yeah, when GTA 5 was coming out in 2013, it was just selling, selling, selling. It's been modded. People have made careers off of role playing, off of mods of GTA 5. Huge careers. A lot of them I watched during COVID. Shout out Dosmeti, shout out Lord Kevin, Rami, and Rated Epics. I'd probably get in trouble for that last one. But, that's kind of what made the brand. Oh, and Buddha. Who can forget Buddha? The wait has been long, and we still don't have the game in our hands, but they released a trailer. But that was last year. And so a lot of people are on edge, and they're just like, oh, well, now with the reshoots in Hollywood and everything like that, where they're like constantly changing things because nothing's right, and they're constantly trying to readapt stuff. It's pretty fair for people to have questions about whether or not they're going down the DEI route. So the first thing that this guy brings up is a shift in protagonist. It's supposedly GTA 6 is going to have a female lead. I don't see a problem with that. Why would I care about that? And if you do care, you probably shouldn't, based on that solely alone. They have actually gone through to say that there will be an option for a female and a male lead, depending on how they're taking the thing, because, it's been trios of males that lead the story in most Rockstar games. That's just, I don't know, it's kind of par for the course. Also, I feel like without getting into too deep a water, I feel like it kind of makes more sense for these gritty things because I'm a base man. I kind of like to treat women with a little bit of a softer touch and everything like that. Yeah, a complete badass chick. Okay, sign me up for that. Sign me up for someone like Lara Croft, but that doesn't really fit into the Grand Theft Auto style of the games. But teach their own. I personally don't give a crap. Said, in fact, this idea, the female protagonist, isn't new because back in 2011, Dan Houser, who used to write for this and co founded Rockstar, he was asked if the series would ever feature a female lead, and he said if the story called for it, then absolutely. Oh, what a based man. Guess what? He doesn't work there anymore. So he probably won't have very many fingerprints on this game. This whole thing is entirely speculation, but we are actually giving you some evidence onto why that speculation is taking place and why fans are a little bit more worried than what they probably should be. So, the departure of key creatives, we saw quite a bit of this with some of the other bigger studios, and what they released after those key creatives were gone was absolute dog shit. So in 2023, Michael Unsworth, another veteran writer and key creative behind GTA 4, 5, and Red Dead Redemption 2. Wow, amazing games. Well, he gone. And to this day, like they didn't whenever they did their resignation, they didn't really give reasons. However, it's almost seems a little bit hmm, like people are twirling their mustaches and twiddling their thumbs and saying like, ah, this seems like a market change for a reason. Now, with so many big changes within the infrastructure of the company, including one of the co-founders of Rockstar, this just keeps bringing up that same question: will GTA 6 be woke? And the sentiment often described as a replacement of strong male characters with so-called Mary Sue's. Obviously, we saw this with Last Jedi. I mean, and keeping it in gaming, we saw this with Last of Us Part Two. It's this message that is kind of been ham-fisted into everything for quite a long time, and we're seeing that the fans don't really like it. So this is a legitimate question by people who have been looking forward to this game for freaking 13 years. While I don't blame or judge anyone who feels that way, it's crucial that this fear doesn't blind us to nuance. I can agree with you on that. Poorly handled things. The Last of Us Part 2, oh yeah, I just brought that up. Star Wars The Last Jedi. Don't even get me started on that. And then some other folks from the GCA actually did a video on Ghost of Yotai and what they're seeing because Ghost of Tsushima was such a well beloved game. And then there's been a little bit of marketing and things that have come out about Ghost of Yotai that like kind of put people on edge. So they did talk about it. You can check it down at in our channel. Just go down the videos. But since we don't actually know for ourselves, this article goes on to say that context does matter. Thank you. It does matter. And that's why we try to give you as much as we can and also give our opinions on it. And while skepticism like this reflects broader fears, we shouldn't let it overshadow a fair evaluation of the game itself. Now, that being said, there's legitimate reasons to worry about the direction, specific actions behind the scenes that hint at the possibility of a shift in the company's creative philosophy. And it's that subtlety that gamers, especially, they're looking for it, especially because they've been waiting so long for a new entry into these games and these franchises that they've loved so much and that they play so much and put thousands and thousands of hours into. Damn right. So here are the first couple of signs, and I will just like lightly brush over these. I don't want this to be like a 35-minute video or anything like that. I want to try to keep it a little bit more palatable, and you can read this article for yourself at thatpartplace.com. Not affiliated, but we love what the work that those guys do over there. So signs of a changing Rockstar. One notable example came in 2022 when they started censoring some of the DLC, some of the expanded and enhanced editions. You know what? They took out, some of those dialogue options that was making fun of gay people and trans people, and they just kind of like removed it all. Completely took it out of the game. Well, if you know anything about Grand Theft Auto, you know that it is completely uncensored. It makes fun of everything. It says all the worst words. It even even going back to Vice City, you could pick up women of the night, beat them, and get paid for it. So it's always been like that. Yet they decided to target that one demographic, that one that keeps making a fuss about every little single thing. It's like, oh, we'll just edit all of this out. Now, what you need to realize about this, if in case you didn't, is that that was already in the game. That was already recorded, programmed in. No, they specifically took those instances out. And so that's a little disturbing. While some argue that these changes were necessary to modernize the game, get the fuck out of here. I'm not, no, get the fuck out of here. This is self censorship. And this is also because the founding members and a lot of the founding writers are no longer there. So get out of here with this. You don't modernize crap. You let it look. You let it echo in eternity. Come on, man. Come on. How do you not get this by now? And so this brings us neatly down into corporate certifications that apparently they're making their employees go through. There's quite a few alarming factors at play for anyone wondering the same question: is it woke? But now we've found in its content, and after the content edits, after the departure of senior staff, what else is going on for the people who work there now? Well, if there's a pattern, at least 60 employees have completed a course called Unconscious Bias through 2020 to 2021, the same time when Dan Houser left the company. Dan Houser co-founded Rockstar. Um, so yes, the wheels are turning quite a bit. The wheels go rolling down the street, and just the fact that this is the oh my goodness, I'm not going to speak on that image. So what is the course? Well, as described on like the LinkedIn Learning, it says it teaches participants to recognize and address unconscious prejudices they may hold. Because of course, instead of making a fucking game, what you should be doing is being worried. You basically should be shaking and sweating. You know, that let that back sweat just kind of like percolate all over the back, because anything that you say that has anything to do with not only a stereotype but a color, a habit of anyone that doesn't look like you might be hurting their feelings. So you might be unconsciously biased towards them. It's all bullshit. Fuck this shit. The fact that it even exists, that's how we know that Rome is falling. Good gracious, get the hell out of workplaces. Foster inclusivity, go fuck yourself. And I am cussing way more than I normally do, but that's because that's how pissed off I am with all this stuff. But instead of fostering unity, these courses can alienate employees, especially because this one that I just told you about was targeted towards the white employees and didn't include everybody. Go figure. Mostly white males. Now, there is also another one down here. Another certification is the diversity, inclusion, and belonging. DIBS appears to be more broadly distributed. However, that unconscious bias certification is still distributed. So now there's more people that have to go into this kind of crap. HR meetings suck. You have to do it basically in orientation whenever you go into jobs that have an HR department or are corporatized. They are absolutely horrible. And anytime they make you fill out the sheet, I always just put the absolute wrong answer, and they pass you anyway because they just need you to sign the paper, the certification that you went through it. Yet you sat there with it, and they give you like your little goblets of water and everything like that, and you have to listen to them talk about how you basically should be in a bubble. You should be Bubble Boy. When Jake Gyllenhaal was young, and I'd never watched that movie, but I heard lots of things about it. Something about getting an erection while singing the national anthem. But yes, they're doing this one too. And additionally, such programs have been criticized for stifling creativity and open dialogue. Yes, that's exactly what it does. It makes you walk on eggshells, walk on pins and needles before ever saying anything, and it tries to brainwash you before you ever even think anything. So you can't, this especially wouldn't work at Rockstar. Out of all the places to do this bullshit, Rockstar would be one of the last places. Like working on Grand Theft Auto, if you know anything about it, it is vulgar, harsh, funny, satirical, all kinds of things all at once. It's a little bit of everything. It's like you're either in like New York City or San Francisco or anywhere in California, all these liberal hellholes and shit piles that are just around the thing. Maybe it's Chicago, Illinois, all these places with high crime and just the most terrible kind of people. That's what Grand Theft Auto is basically about. It's your rise to power, being a fucking thug. So if you're stifling open dialogue with the kind of things that those people say just in normal life, yeah, it's not going to work out for you. So all of the suspicions from people who are wanting GTA 6 to not be woke, they are very well founded for many, many, many reasons. Now, as far as this article goes, I am done talking about it. Will GTA 6 be woke? Well, all of the precursors are there. Everything is right there for you to see. It does not look good. It doesn't look like there will be any free speech. It doesn't look like there'll be anything that you can be proud of. Maybe you could be proud of the visuals, maybe you could be proud of the gameplay, but it seems like the story is going to shit the bed. But what do you guys think about it? We will see you later tonight, late and gay with the GCA at 8:30 Eastern time here on this channel live. Feel free to come on by, talk shit in the chat because that's what our followers do, and we love it. It's all fun and games, even when someone gets hurt feelings. Y'all take care.